Hey, what's up? In this video, I am going to walk through step by step how to build a Google pay-per-click Google Ads campaign using Grok to do some research and then actually building it out in the Google Ads Manager. So this is kind of part one of this video. I'm going to focus in on the research and like actually getting things set up by using Grok. Now you can use ChatGPT, you could use Claude, you could use any of the other AI systems that are out there. I just happen to prefer Grok. I think it works really, really well, and it's right now for me it's the best tool for AI research. And I do pay for Grok. This is a paid account, so I pay the whatever the monthly charges. I think it's like 20 something bucks a month now. For Grok 3 also includes X Premium, so if you're into that, awesome. But anyway, without further ado, I'm going to walk you through kind of what I've started over here. And in this video in particular, part one here, we're going to walk through the research and how I did some of that, as well as we'll switch over here and walk through like the keyword planning tool within Google Ads. Probably break this into part two to actually show you how to take it from this step and then actually get the ad launched. So step by step through launching the ad in Google Ads Manager. So let's start here with Grok. And what I did is I actually put together a very basic prompt, like nothing super fancy about this prompt. I'm really just telling Grok like, hey, you're the greatest Google pay-per-click ads genius in the world. You're the best copywriter, ad designer, specifically when it comes to getting a large amount of leads in a short amount of time at a low cost per lead. So I'm giving it all of these parameters, like here's who you are. This is the persona I want you to take on. Your task is to come up with one killer Google Ads campaign for a local remodeling company. The objective, get them more inbound inquiries and bookings for remodeling consultations. Small jobs or big jobs are fine. And then please keep the campaign very simple and straightforward, right? We don't want to be complex. I'm building this for a local contractor, a client of mine that we're helping kind of do some DIY stuff, right? I'm kind of showing him how to do a lot of this on his own, that he doesn't need to hire an expensive marketing agency to do this, right? So feel free to learn more about the specifics. I fed it the actual website of the company, which you can do. You can do this for your own company, right? Just fill in your website and tell it to learn more about your particular business in the creation of this ad campaign and the research process for the ad campaign. All right, so the first thing it spits out is very much like kind of a broad overview of everything. So the campaign overview, the objective, target audience, what the recommended budget is. Obviously, this is all just stuff that Grok is recommending, but I'm going to show you probably in the part two video of this, like what we're going to actually do for this particular contractor. Key metric, cost per lead target. So Grok actually is going to show us how to build this step by step in Google Ads Manager, right? But this is the kind of generic overview of how it's going to be structured. And the structure here, obviously this is a search campaign, so this is a pay-per-click campaign, not a call campaign or something else. Like there's different types of campaigns you can do in Google. We'll show that in part two of this video. The bidding strategy is to maximize conversions. We will have a cost per click cap to make sure we keep the cost in check. And then, again, these are all recommendations. Targeting location, recommendation here, 20-mile radius around the company's headquarters, primarily like Pierce County, Washington, where this business is located. And then the ad schedule, this is the only thing I might slightly disagree with. I might actually keep this open to 24/7 instead of 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. There's no harm. Like if somebody's up late at night doing research on remodeling, great. We want to capture those search intents as well. All right, so then it comes up with like some high intent keyword examples, some broader keyword examples, which is fine, and then super important, like a list of negative keywords. So again, right here, this is really just Grok giving us an overview, and then just some kind of higher level stuff. And we're going to tell it to get a lot more specific here in just a second. But we've got the ad copy for two different ad groups that it recommends, as well as the ad extensions. Right now, this is great for kind of a big picture overview, but I'm building this for not just this particular client, but also for you, like so that if you're a contractor, you want to launch this on your own. Again, you can do this on your own without having to hire an agency to do it, right? And so we're gonna tell Grok to get far more specific than what it's got here. All right, create a dedicated landing page. Great, we will do that. We'll provide him with a landing page to use. If you need help creating a landing page, I think what I'll do is maybe in either part 2 or part 3 of this series, I'll actually walk through how to put together a super simple landing page on your own so that you can direct traffic to a landing page. You definitely want to have a landing page and not send traffic to your home page. That's like worst case. I shouldn't say worst case scenario. Worst case scenario is that you don't send them anywhere and you don't track any of this, but it's better to have a dedicated landing page for a Google ad than to just send people to your homepage. Like that's kind of sending them into the abyss, especially if you don't have an optimized homepage, which I can talk about I do talk about in one of my other videos that I'll link to here. Anyway, we want to have key components to the landing page. We want to have a simple headline, which is what the action we want them to take. Get your free remodeling consultation today. Subheadline, we want to build some trust here in why you should book with our team. We're, in this case, the 2022 Remodeler of the Year, won some awards, high quality results, blah, 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 all that good stuff. And then all we're putting on this page is a very basic lead capture form. We want to have the name, phone, email, and then maybe like, hey, what type of project are you working on? How soon are you looking to get started? And hit a submit button. All we're trying to do is just capture that lead when they're at the highest intent. They've clicked through, they've landed on your page. We want to just capture their information so that you can reach out and follow up with them in real time. Trust signals, that if you've got any awards, in this case, this particular contractor, they've got an award badge for when they won the Remodeler of the Year. They've got a bunch of testimonials that we're going to put on that landing page, maybe even some before and after photos of projects they've done before. So there you go, right? Just some trust signals. And then the call to action button, book my free consult, or in our case, we're going to do request my free consult. And obviously everything that we're going to build here is going to be mobile optimized. It's going to load great on mobile because it's like 80+% now of searches. Like if I were to show you the dashboard of our Google Ads for other clients, it's over 80% of traffic is coming to their sites from a mobile device, from an iPhone, from an Android, etc. All right, and then Grok is telling us why this works, which is great. Grok is telling us budget and projections, awesome, and some optimization tips, which are actually pretty good. But here we go. What I wanted to do now is I say, okay, great, this is awesome for kind of, big picture stuff, but now create a detailed keyword list for this campaign along with a detailed negative keyword list. Like these are part of the keyword research process, and that's actually what I'm going to focus on for the rest of this video, and we'll do part 2 where we actually build out the ad. But here we go. This is the detailed keyword list. Now, Grok actually looked at what was on the client's website here in this case, and then also kind of, what they focus on, and created a detailed keyword list. Now, you can be a little bit more specific here in your prompt and tell it, like, I want you to build keywords that are specific to just outdoor living remodeling, or maybe you just want to do a detailed keyword list for kitchen remodels or ADUs, like whatever it is that's your particular industry or your focus that you want to attract more leads for. You can tell Grok to create the list, the keyword list, based off of that specifically. All right, so I told it to do that here, and then here's what it did, right? It came up with a detailed list of keywords. I'm just going to skim through this. A whole bunch of keywords. Now, I will tell you, like Grok will spit out a lot of stuff that's tied to specific cities and towns, and some of these population densities aren't that big. So you'll notice when I go into the keyword planner and I plug these in, there's a fair amount that just don't have a whole lot of search volume, if any, recorded by Google. And so we're going to eliminate some of these, but this gives us a good starting point, right? So I'm going to take this whole list and I'm going to show you over here. So now I've started a list. Let me make myself smaller so I'm out of the way. I started a list over here of remodeling keywords, and what I did was I started by, let's go back to, since I saved this already, let's go back to the keyword planner, and I've got my remodeling keywords. But if I were starting this from scratch, I would actually, I would start with getting the search volume and forecasts for the list that Grok provided me, right? And that's kind of where I started with this campaign, or this list of keywords in the keyword planner. And by the way, how did I get here? I literally just logged into ads.google.com, If you don't have an account, set up a free account. And then what I did once I was in here is I went to the tools menu on the side, and I'm in the keyword planner for Google Keyword Planner, right? So I'm going to go to get search volume forecast, and all I did was I literally just grabbed all these and I pasted them in there. And here, let's just do one group to show you as an example. I'm going to copy all of these and I'm going to paste them into the list here. And I'm going to say get started. And you'll notice, right, it's going to show me of what I pasted. There are several that have like no monthly searches, no trends to show, right? So those are probably not great keywords. But what I can do is I can take the best ones that actually do have search volume, and I can create based off of these. Actually, what I want to do is create the ones that have no volume. Perfect. And I'm going to grab all these, and I'm going to remove them. And I'm going to be left with the ones that actually have search volume, right? And so I'm going to use this one. And what I'll do is I've got them as saved keywords. What I'm going to do is grab those, and I'm going to go to keyword ideas now, and I'm going to start typing in ideas. Now, hold on. If I go back over here to these keywords, so let's just like grab these. See, this might not format how I want, but that's okay. So I'm going to go keyword ideas. And yeah, let's get rid of all of this, blah, blah, blah. Really, I just want the keywords, kitchen remodel near me. Okay, so we'll just do these two. Get results, and now I've got all of these different ideas. And so this is cool, right? Like I can plug in kitchen remodel contractor near me, kitchen remodel near me, right? And so Google is keyword planner, if you've never used it, it's taking the two that I typed in and coming up with other ideas with actual average monthly search volume, kind of what ones are hot, what ones are low. You can see like the change year over year in search volume. Like, so this is a hot keyword right here for whatever reason. It's increased by 900%. And it also gives you like your general top of page bid, low range, as well as the high range, right? So about how much it's going to cost for you to land top of page on the low to high end in terms of cost per click, right? So pretty cool. The keyword planner is like really, really helpful. A lot of people just don't use it for some reason. They just punch in their own keywords and run with it. I'm a big proponent, like use the tools that Google has provided because they've got the most data out there. Like they literally have all the data from millions of search campaigns that are running on their platform. So anyway, let's say I just, want to select a bunch of these, blah, blah, blah. This is all for demonstration purposes. And then I can add them to my plan. And now I've got in my saved keywords all of those that I just added in addition to any others that I add here. Now, I'm going to go ahead and rename this before I forget. Let's call this, let's see, where's my little rename? Thought I had a rename option. Anyway, it doesn't matter, whatever. Oh, here we go. Edit plan name. And we'll call this, I'm going to just call this demo keywords so I don't accidentally like use this. Call it demo keywords. And then you can also plug in your negative keywords, right? And so if I scroll down in going back over to Grok, I've got all of my negative keyword lists based on like DIY, cheap, or budget terms. So Grok does a pretty good job. I have some others that I added in there as well, but Grok does a pretty good job of compiling like what are negative keywords. And if you don't know what this means, it's essentially these are keywords I don't want to show up for. So I want to make sure that these are like suppressed. So if I just do all of these, for example, and I copy them and I move them over here and I say negative keywords, let's add them in, bam, and then I can say add in negative keywords. And then let's see, keyword broad match. Okay, so I wonder if I need to put these into quotes for Google to be happy with it. I should just be able to save this. Hold on, let me pause for a second so I can make sure I'm doing this right. Okay, actually, what I'm learning here, because I don't have any campaigns teed up, it's really just going to save this to my negative keyword plan here. So if I go to my saved keywords, back over to my negative keywords, what I need to do is actually have a campaign. What's the word I'm looking for? At least drafted in order to add those negative keywords. So we can come back to this in part 2, but essentially I'll show you how you can actually add negative keywords account wide, like put it across your whole account instead of just in the keyword planner. But anyway, moving right along. So we've got our positive keywords for this campaign, we've got our negative keywords, and then you'll notice if I continue going down here, I've got all the keywords, which is great. My next prompt, and this will be the last portion of this video before I wrap this and we move into part 2. But my last prompt here is, all right, now that you've done all this research and helped me, and then I've made that even better and kind of strengthened it with Google's built-in keyword planner. Now create a detailed step-by-step tutorial to walk me through setting this entire campaign up from start to finish right inside my Google Ads account. So I'm going to have Grok literally give me a tutorial step by step inside of Ads Manager. Like, how do I set this up? How do I actually do this inside of my Google Ads Manager? So this will be part 2 of this video. So stay tuned. I will link to that up here on the YouTube channel so that you can watch part 2. But start with this, right? Start with part 1. See how powerful this can be to literally just create your plan from the beginning. So I go back up to the top, use a prompt similar to this, tell it who you want it to be, tell it that you're a Google Ads genius, get your keyword research done, your negative keyword research done, and essentially be ready to have Grok or ChatGPT or whichever tool you're using for AI walk you through step by step how to set this up. And that'll be part 2. Thanks for watching this one. See ya on the next one.